Hi everyone, it's Cecilia here. Just wanted to do an update video. I had done a video on at the beginning of the year. I think I labeled it what we need to know first 3 to 6 months. Energy has changed so much. I mean, it's changed. It didn't change a little. It changed a lot. And so what we need to do is kind of like revisit that, because tarot cards pick up energy. That's why I cleanse them between readings. That's why I cleanse myself between readings. I cleanse all my cards because I don't want the residual readings, to be hooked up onto this. So, because it does read energies. A lot has happened. And because a lot has happened, it could very well be that the energy has shifted. Now remember, when someone reads tarot, it's based on that moment in time. And it's based on the fact that if nothing happens to make any changes through the timeline, because we all have free will and everybody involved has free will, then everything will go as predicted. However, let there just be one little change. It could be the most insignificant change, and it can change off the whole trajectory. Now, I usually read a different way than most people, but I am going to try a reading form. I like to watch other tarot readers to get ideas on how they're doing their layouts, and I'm constantly learning. I learn about new card decks and whether or not I think that they, it's really the only way I can see cards, because when you're looking at the outside deck, outside of a box, it doesn't tell you what's on the inside. And by watching other tarot readers and taking a look at what decks are they using, is that something I would be interested in, especially because some of the decks can be quite pricey. I don't have very many decks. For many years I used my original deck called the Arcus Arconium deck, and it's an out-of-print German-made deck, and you don't read in reversals on that one, and you what you do instead is you use your intuition on there. And so, I mean, I'm really good at using my intuition, but I'm using today the I hate carpal tunnel and arthritis, because man, what a combination. Okay, I'm using a classic tarot card. It's a Rider-Waite tarot. I have another deck that is based similarly off of the Rider-Waite, except for some of the things are a little bit different. Every tarot card, Rider-Waites are all Rider-Waite. The colors and everything have meaning in them. So this is my deck that I just wanted to, really work with a little bit more and to understand a little bit better. Plus, too, you read reversals, something that I wasn't doing before, and so I chose to get a deck that has all the listed meanings, because every card has many, many different meanings. And so intuition cards are a little different, because it's whatever you're looking at the image and you're saying, okay, this is what I see. This is a little bit different. Even though some people do read it by using their intuition, I wanted to learn everything there was to know about intuition. So I'm going to be doing the reading different than I usually do. There's a woman that I like to follow called Ellie Dreams Down Under, and she does her layout this way, and so I want to go ahead and use her layout. I have used her layout before, and but I've never done it with these cards, so I want to go ahead and give it a try. The question I have for today is, what is ours, and we're going to only go for the next 3 months. I'd like to go for the year, but too much has changed, and I have a feeling I'm going to be revisiting this before 3 months. So what is ours to know? What is it that we have to look for in the next 3 months? What does the ordinary people? We have no control over our legislators and what they're going to do. I mean, that's not entirely true. We can influence them by calling them, writing them letters, sending them postcards, protesting them, all those things. But we need to know what is happening for ourselves. We need to prepare. This is what I've been telling people on my Facebook page, my friends. Hey, I felt a shift in 2020. And that was right before COVID. And I didn't know what the shift was. Excuse me. And the shift is more of a, for me, I've discovered we're in a 30-year shift from the divine masculine to the divine feminine. And you've got those that want to move humanity ahead, and you have those that want to take humanity backwards. And it's a 30-year shift. I keep talking about this. I've been telling people about this. And, I've said, this is what, and there's going to be some rough times. There's going to be some really, really rough times during this shift. Some people call it the Great Awakening. I just read a Substack Anonymous had done a thing about a spiritual shift. I don't know if it's the same Anonymous as with the hacker group, but they had done a whole thing that I shared with my on my Facebook page, because I've been talking about this. I felt it in 2020, a major shift. I feel energy. I've noticed that my clairs, I have couple different clairs. Some I've always had, and others that I'm developing now that are showing up in the last couple years. Like, I've never seen shadow people before, and I've seen shadow people. I've not ever seen orbs in person before, and now every once in a while I see shadow people. See orbs. Things come to me as they come to me when spirit wants me to have it. I have no control over any of it. I really don't. I've not I've not picked that up. So we're going to ask guides. I'm sorry. The reason why I keep talking is because I have not gotten a clear indication yet that I'm finished shuffling. Isn't that funny? Oh, okay. Well, these ones popped out, really popped out. So let's see. So it's obviously my shuffling is done. Okay, so what we have in here, I'm just going to show these real quick, and then I'm gonna put them in here, back in, because I want to do a certain layout. This is the Chariot. Okay, Chariot is a major arcana card, and this means, and it's upright. It is a yes card. It's a movement, progress, action, integration, determination, willpower, control, direction, departure, and courage. The Ace of Cups in reverse. Aces are generally, they are new beginnings, okay? Pioneering, leading, alpha, dominance, ambitious, and originality, but it's in reverse. So it's emotional. Oh, and cups are an emotion card. It's emotional loss, block, creativity, emptiness, self-love, intuition, repressed emotions. And finally, the the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, there's Pentacles. Pentacles, I should tell you, are about finances, or they could be about well-being or morals. Okay, in this case, it's upright. Okay, And it's about diligence, passion, high standards, apprenticeship, mastery, skill development, repetitive tasks. Okay. So what I get from this is what I'm talking about is we're going to have courage. You know, chariots are movement cards and things are moving. Okay, this is just what popped out. This is not going to be the official reading that I'm going to do. There's a lot of movement going on, and it's going to be courage on our part. Okay, we need to know what direction we are going in, what we want to happen. Okay, there's a lot going on that people, their emotions are all over the place. They're kind of like at a standstill, that they don't know what to do. They're not knowing what they're going to do. They're, it says block creativity, but I'm getting, they're just, their emotion, because of everything that's going on, they're kind of blocked. They're unsure. They're not knowing where they're going to go here. Okay. And some people are just following their intuition. And I'm a firm believer in intuition. Okay. And then diligence comes to here. Diligence and skill development speaks to me. This may be, actually, I was thinking I was going to have to do a complete reading on this, but actually now this is the reading. Oh, isn't that funny? I just heard that. I hear everything in my right ear. I was going to do a different reading, a different layout, but these cards actually sum up everything that's going on. Everything is moving quickly, and we're going to need courage. Okay? Yeah, we're going to need courage, and we have to know direction that we're going in. We might not know what we got to do, and we're stuck. We're kind of like stuck, but use your intuition. And this one is, be diligent and learn the new skills. These new skills that I've been talking about on my own Facebook page. It might be learning how to save seeds if you already garden. Save seeds, because I know I use seeds. I was just seeing that seeds, most of our seeds come from China, and those got 145% tariff, I think, on them. And some of the seed companies that resell seeds are talking about, oh my gosh, what's happening here? Even if you buy it from another country, more than likely they sourced it from China. So you've got to learn new skills, whether it's learning to save seeds or learning just how to grow simple crops like microgreens. Microgreens are probably the easiest thing to grow. There's YouTube videos on it. Easy, easy, easy. Gives you great nutrition, gives you a sense of accomplishment. Lettuces are easy to grow, depending on where you live. Like Florida right now, I haven't even started my real garden because I'm having trouble with drought, serious drought. And my rain barrels are empty. I've had to use them to water my trees. I have citrus trees and other fruit trees, and they all had fruit on them at the beginning of spring. And because of lack of water, I've been, all my fruit's fallen off of them. So, I mean, I'm like, and I'm a seasoned gardener. So all of us are going to have like new skills. I have city water. I don't want to spend city water, and I don't have a well. So I have to water sparsely. And I have things in buckets, and those dry out faster, and just in container gardens, and it's just so much going on. So, but learning a new skill, maybe it's canning. That's actually the new skill I'm going to be learning today, learning this next month coming up. I have a pressure canner. I have books on how to use a pressure canner, and I want to can basically beans. I just bought a bunch of canned beans, but I want to be able to. I do not have good luck. I'm cooking beans on the stove and making them tender, and I don't know if it's because the beans are old or what the deal's, but I know I'm going to try pressure canning. It's just a matter of, okay, getting some more jars, because I use jars for everything here, and yeah, so that's all I can say, right now is, you know, I will revisit this in maybe another month or so, because things are just happening way too fast, and maybe that's why the cards gave me these, is because even if I did a full reading, it might be obsolete in next couple weeks. So, but no matter what happens, these are things that we've got to do. We've got to know, because we're going to have shortages, we're going to have issues. Learn to save your seeds, because next year, pretty soon, it sounds kind of funny, but let's talk about seeds. People put in their orders, companies, like I have some seeds from, what do you call it? It's a feed store here that I get, and they use top-notch seeds, and they order, and it's made a lot for the farmers and stuff like that, because they're bulker, and I tend to buy those, more so for some things, because it's cheaper than buying like the little packets in the stores. And but what is interesting is that they put in their orders for next year. They're going to be putting in those orders soon for next spring. They already put in their orders for the fall. See, depending on where you live, your growing season is different. I have usually a very long growing season. I start in the spring, and I get things that's harvested out, and then I've got the summer that I can grow hot crops that can tolerate the heat. But this year, I have no rain in my rain barrels to speak of, and I couldn't start my spring garden. I should have started it like in December and October, but I didn't. My own laziness, too many things going on. So, but anyway, you have a wonderful day, and we will revisit this.